Good evening, folks. Uh, 2028 on the 26th day, second month, 2023. I didn't quite have it aimed on this. I'm watching this cyclonically moving system out here in the Tasman Sea being continually bombed into existence. And as this tendril spreads out and interacts with this here, it will influence the weather of New Zealand. So while everybody's looking north up here, worrying about something that ain't nowhere in sight, you better be looking this way. Yeah, because this chem here is going to influence you. This chem here is going to influence you. And while this chem combination being drawn for you out here in the Tasman Sea area over here is definitely the boom, boom, boom variety. So let's zoom on in here. Zoom, 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 and the boom, 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 and the plume, plume of it all. Right? What we see down here is a star formation. I'm going to let that roll so it gets a little bit clear. Should get a fairly decent signal tonight. Yeah, I'm working on it. Tidying up cables, moving things around. Get the modem where I want. I'm going to be happy, happy. So you got a little bit of a cyclonic eddy over here in the shade. Right? Boom! So it's possible something cold was deployed because down on the low deck it ain't quite spinning the same. Possibly atmospheric heating. Look at this wedge of squareness is coming up here. And it's going to prevent any furtherness of this even drifting back that way. So it's going to force it along. So this looks pretty clear right now. Oh, that's very clearly a chem bomb, that's for sure. Let me down here touch that thing. So let's jump back some 10-minute jumps to where we didn't quite see that going on. You see it going on now? The butterfly effect. Boom, boom, boom! Go to plumes over the Tasman Sea. And we have a spinner. Not spinning very fast, dissipating. Going to have to be rebombed. Oh, we got the wedgie going on. How many directions of the winds you got here? In the one spot. Right, because that's a whole lot of bombing going on there. See this tendril with a coma, like the center of an ice thing that streamers off if it was a comet, right? You could use that, the nucleus and the coma created. Oh, good day, sun shines. It seems like an emanation point of something that's making triangular formations here from here. So let's have a look around that area. Sheesh. They're looking at the wrong thing. Everybody's over here looking at this. They're worried about a cyclone hitting you. And I said a while ago there wasn't much a chance of it hitting you. However, the ability for it to spit its moisture as it goes by can be counted on happening. Right. So here's what's about to impact you from this spinner here. So we're going to watch a couple directions at once. I don't see much of a chance of that hitting you. As its influence of its winds hook along this coast here of here, right? The thumb. If this was a mitten, that would be the thumb. So it causes a drag in the flow. A little drag in the flow can cause a low pressure eddy to form, which I'm expecting to happen as this passes, and that's what's going to do an up and in and kick moisture more in towards Napier in this area here that I don't even like to have to point out because I'm not trying to wind you up. Just like you to be prepared. And it's nice when I see articles coming out that actually try to prepare you in advance. And I'm in agreement. There ain't much a chance of hell of that cyclone hitting you. However, the moisture and spit off it in its winds are definitely going to impact your weather. So we'll have a zoom back here. That's a lot of moisture has been turned over in your direction on the upper level winds. As looks like an EMF beam is holding it off. And that's nice to see. Defending of a country with a beam instead of guiding it in. However, as this moves, is going to be allowed to come in. And if we have certain tight flows, this whole mass can move as once. Boom, jump. And I saw a movement of the center of circulation of this storm up here. You'll see. Well, this one here as it manipulated down. It took nearly a 400-mile jump to the east on the satellite image of MEMAC. So I'll try and pull up. So as this fucks off finally, this tendril's really free to come in, and it's going to influence you. Been stripping off moisture for a while. I'm not fully agreeing with the totals of this coming over, but it is going to influence your weather in a way that they're not showing on the graph. As we get in towards Friday and the Ides of March is what I've been concerned about. And I'm not agreeing that this is going to drift as far away as they say. I don't really agree with this at all. So I'm still watching this very, very closely. Usually coming in on this side of these islands actually has a tendency to steer it a bit this way. If it comes in through a corridor through here, it always goes away. The crazy flows of the actual river of moisture seems to be puzzling a lot of scientists. Isn't puzzling me at all because I watched the big beams that they call glitches. I don't believe the excuses. Obviously, if something's going on and you're noticing something and you're scientific, then you have to start thinking somebody's lying to you. There's a lab assistant giving you bad data for some reason, is what you start thinking. So we have to watch this to know what's here. And if you look at all the moisture in the world, if it all rained down at once, where is all of it? Or the greatest percentage is right over this one corridor between these squares here, 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 and here. And if you folded those all in on each other, you'd probably have a 1.5 squares full of full solid water. And if you folded all that together, you probably have near the same. So that means most of the world's water is in one spot. And that's a very bad thing because it can be moved at well. They have to move this out. This is easy to drought other places when all the water's in one spot. If they dropped all that into the ocean right now, where's it going to rain from? So the moisture's there. So it's being moved at well. So I'll have a look at a beam. It's very interesting, but I'll go to the Oz feed to show it. See the jump the center just takes. I want it all on timestamps. Comes down and then whammo. Big. So something has perturbed it, has moved it, has altered its course. So that should be on domain Australia. So I was looking at this earlier. I still haven't determined what device did it. It's most likely a ship at sea because it was a very quick womp or an explosion. Poof. Could do that as well. As you see, it was just a top moisture jump. I'm not seeing any missing hours. Right, that's the next thing I do is look at the countdown. Is it smooth? Yeah. So I'm not missing any frames. So let me step this around this. Did a little bit of a zoom bit, try to get it up a bit more. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what kind of a thing to get to film. Somebody keeps saying get a use smart TV, and they don't have the lines when you film it. What do you guys know about that kind of stuff? It'd be my cheapest option. Come on, get over there. Alright, I'm gonna do this a little different. I'm trying to get just this bigger. Alright. Now they hit a beam on this. See if I can get at the controls. It jumped. Absolutely jumped this storm. Alright. There's the last frame there, so that's the first. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm watching this tendril here. Sorry if it jumps like that. I'm trying to deter. I've not yet been able to figure out what devices move this. See it suddenly shift? That's a big shift. If each one of these is about over 800 miles per hour, and this thing jumped that far in one frame, an hour. Each frame is an hour on this. 1 hour, bam. That's a big movement of top water. Big, big movement. And there's a beam swath. And where's it intersected? Fucking Blenheim. Pointing right at you. Right at you. All I'm doing is following lines. I ain't inventing them. So, and it's off. On and off. They hit a big pulse. Blenheim did it. Wow, that E-scat is powerful. If it was Harper, would have had it stayed lit a long time. That thing could fire. Could be laser as well. That's very possible. Another tickle right here. That's an Adness. That was a hell of a jump. That was a big movement of water all at once. They moved the storm. That's how Blenheim just fired and saved the lives of a lot of people, I think, moving the storm. Thank God to see geoengineering used to save lives as it's designed to do. To prevent droughts, not cause them. To prevent floods, not exacerbate them. And right here, if that move is true, that just saved your lives. Thank God. This is the part where I said I'm going to keep a close eye on things. Are we rolling? Yeah. Goodness, yes. Yes, Jules. She'd definitely be affected by this because she's in New Zealand, man. She's in some of the Lord of the Rings movie. You probably played an elf or a hobbit. You just kind of get that smile face. Probably got big... Did it make you wear big feet things? Oh no, I couldn't help but ask. We know a lot of people, you know. We got a lot of talent in our group. Ah, that's a hell of a water move. That's the last frame. They took that thing up miles, didn't they? And they got it to turn south. The jump, that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So 1 hour, 2 hours. You picking up the V in here? Golly, that's new. Incredible science. Oh, what a jump, huh? That's moving some water. And a sudden circular thing. Did they explode it over? Hey, there's nobody out there to see it. You just hear a thunderstorm. Was there a quake there? I need to know that now. Right here. The intersection of 180 and in the net. I got it too high. I screwed part of the screen. Hang on. Somebody just walked in front of the computer and fucked my shit. Right, I'm gonna go off that. It's froze my screen. I'll get which one I want. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I want to see something. Don't think it'll be showing yet. It's just off screen. It's just off screen, so you can't quite see it there. USGS latest earthquake interactive map. Any action out here? Even we're here, you're just about fucking dead on it. Dead on it. Moving that moisture, I would say, is definitely coinciding with this. What timestamp we got? 11 at 16 UTC. Right when they moved it. Right there, 11. The pop occurred. You had a quake. That's a correlation. That's called a correlation. This is a correlation. The timing of the quake with the timing of the blast. Yep. So you want evidence that EMF might possibly be inducing quakes by the exact mark where they hit? Now, how does he do it? He watches the beams. And that's not as small as a 5. So, yeah, I'm going to say that was an EMF quake. I don't know what happened here near Cha-Cha. Small potatoes for you guys. But getting up there, no, near in the 3s. That scared those people there because they had a lot of badness happen during their Christchurch quake where nothing's ever been fully repaired. And we see a lot of the same mistakes made by New Zealand during the disaster happening currently now. And what happened in so many other ones. Where Coast Rose, even Kaikoura, how you doing since then? Have they fixed anything? So I'm going to let this roll for a minute and have a sip of my drink. Yeah, my voice is a bit challenged tonight, so very much apologetic for that. So I'm going to roll this through. At 5 days good enough for you. Yeah. Here's your totals. On the 5s, it's still most of your actions coming on the 2s, and I'm not fully agreeing with these totals. When that hooks that quadrant and does that low, more just has to stream in. It's just not correct. So any of these, being honest, that's probably more correct for your corner totals, and then some of that'll come up and around. This tendril has to come in. But when that comes around, it causes a low. Well, that's fucking off. That's going to come in and around. So we'll watch very closely where this tendril, because she's packing a lot. And that's packing a lot. And you can expect it. I don't agree with these totals. I think they're trying to cause tremor. Who? The ones who make the money off you moving. Get off my land so we can make it our land. Kind of a land grabbing. It's this cattle barons type thing. I think your wind totals are going to, wind's going to be rather high a few of these days coming up as we get around the third. Yeah, when they move that vortex in and around, it causes a flow to feed it. There's a lot of wind out here. So surf is up if that's your thing. Try to have some fun. Never forget that people need help. So if you got some spare time, your sweat of your brow could cause a lot of smiles to occur. And what's better in life than to make others smile? Yeah, so be careful out here if you're in your boats and stuff. You're around the third. I thought so. All the conditions said if that vortex is gonna do that, it has to spin low. It fucking has to. There's no way it won't. That 14 will come in and it'll leave it. Has to. Boom. So it'll leave a little low. So I'm expecting some circulation as the steamer comes down. We'll be watching very closely. They don't always follow the same path. Sometimes one goes under the other. Sometimes it comes up and over the top. They rarely swallow each other. The pressure's this close together and that one right behind it. It'd be more likely that swallowed that right into it. Yeah, 96 will go into the 98. But this would want to drag and stall. If that stalls, more moisture spits in towards you. So more of these totals of rain and water that are out here will come ashore. They ain't showing you squanto on that. You know, they're not showing it raining down, but the water's there. So that's another concern is these vortices spin small lows. And as we get towards the end of the tens, I'm very, very concerned. And I don't believe this. You see how that starts to walk underneath? A lot of fuckery afoot. What I'm gonna do now is go to some totals, and I'm watching a map, and I'm watching my dinner come. I got a coupon for a plain cheese pizza, and do you hear my voice? Have plain cheese pizza? Yeah, yeah, no funkatizers in it. Hey, Catherine, oh my, would you look at the guilt here? Look at the lightning and all this thunder and just. Have they even told you they're planning all this yet? Have they told you the terrible totals? Of the honesty of it all? When this cyclonic system is fed by this over here, up and around, that's going to be bad. One beam away from them coming ashore and clapping hands, wham, wham, right into the middle, and where the two meet, you'll get your heaviest falls of tendrilizations. So you ain't over yet in the saggy tap. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely going to be spraying it down that day. As the accumulations of the whole geoengineering of it all in the nunth over here is getting over a half a meter again. The continuous showing of a half a meter every day, you see in 100 meters, 10 centimeters, there's nowhere for this to go. Where is it going? It's going to ruin some days. It's going to fill some lakes. It's going to cause problems at crossroads, washing out infrastructure, making you need new loans to the IMF to further enslave you to this system that never serves you. But it tells you it's going to serve you up a course of freedom and some freedom phrase with it just so you'll hate the French even on that one. Did you see what they did? And again, always around here, hey, hi, we'll just keep these totals high for you, but not as high as they're going to be. You know, just have a little hope in your heart there. Meanwhile, the Tennant Creek corridor with the Mount Isa run of the road they went through here and the new railroad track that's been well spoken about in the past is getting some further attention. This crossroad again is getting further attention. So if you're along this highway line here over the next 5 days, you're fucked. Right? So watch your travels, watch who you are. You poor folks. I'm so tired of reporting it on this shit every day. Every day. So the Zealand, I pretty much showed you. And with that said, and with that done, my food is here. I gotta run. It's important to me to eat, you guys say. Right? So with fucking how did you get by? So I may just let this run a minute and answer the door if you don't mind. I can eat pizza on the go. Or I could just run this. You ain't nearby. When you get a roundabout, I'll get up. Right, as I look over here, I see lots of chem-bams going up Derby through here, through the corridor. I'm not wasting a good signal. I'm going out to get this. So watch this roll. everything is still rolling. You guys say I gotta eat. What's cheaper than a plain cheese pizza? Right. Okay, I've seen a lot of bombs going off over here north of Tennant Creek. Right here, you see this formation going between Elliott. So let's see if I show any of the stuff you guys seen. That would be more interesting to me. So I'll do the fast forward, blah, blah, blahs. Fast forwards. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Elliott, smelling good there? Emanation point, all pointing at a bomb. Deployment platform. Come on, people, use your heads. Look, what are you seeing here? What do you see? What are your eyes telling you? Your mind's definitely saying you've been lied to, because your weather forecast is shit. And mine, one of the shitty weather they have to forecast. But the accuracy levels of my forecast speak for themselves. And I damn sure know when to say we're going to watch something close. And when I say you're fucked. And when I tell you get in your arc, do it. At least a lot of lightning in that particular corridor right there. See what we got going over my reef. There's a mighty circular formation of fuckery. Ooh, I have to eat a piece of this pizza while I'm talking. Can't just have pizza in your lap and not eat it. I'm gonna roll this in on up closer. Got some further data on that. What do we see here? Nothing going on. Like, ain't got no clouds at all. All I see is fucking clouds along this coast and an explosion of bombs and sickness mixing a repeat performance. Don, 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 boom, 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 plum, 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 plum. Captain Cook is cooking your ass again. Acid burns, my skin burns. Hey, Ingham. How you doing? Have some geoengineering coming your way, because I never fail to get Innisfail. Maribye. Boy, that's a hell of a way to say hello. Look at this big streamers of crab. We got a crisscross going there to make you jump. How many directions of the wind? Was it blowing this way or this way? Figure it out. That's crazy weather, isn't crazy? They're crazy to be spraying chem bombs over the top of you and chemical catalysts ruining your forest or fire accelerants in a country that's worried about fire. Nah, this is counterintuitive to the safety of the general population. In general. But the general pains in the ass and the toxic flyers toxically flying over your skies and toxifying it. It's disgusting me. Ruining my pizza. That's wrong. Pizza should never be ruined. Bad enough the Lebanese people say they come from Brooklyn and then fucking make a cracker crust. Their crust is shit. Italians don't put no hot pepper inside the fucking sauce. What's wrong with them? Shouldn't be allowed to call it Brooklyn unless you've been here at least once. My God, look at this line of sickness mix. Wow, that's terrible. Wonder what the aroma of aroma is. Look at this shit. This isn't all EMF line. These are bombs going on. Chemical catalysts being deployed in your skies, making these false sky lashes, turning your whole sky into the dirty Sanchez look. Come on, it's an even deployment. That's bombs. Someone went along, pow, poo, 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 and poo pooed your sky. Your whole sky is a giant poo poo platter. Did you sell to China? What number was your country on the menu? Are you just the appetizer? Or are you the main course? I think all of Oceania is being repossessed. You're part of Oceania. You're part of Oceania. Even the new globes and maps printed from China say you are Oceania. Welcome to the place where you don't have to come ashore and put a flag down anymore. Your country's been sold. You've been owned. That's sad. So let's continue to watching the making and birthing of a very powerful cyclone that's going to be directed south when it's ready to be, when it's finished cooking, when all those cyclone seasonings and them bombs do their thing. Nice toroid form. Got a good outflow on the top. See some inflow on the bottom. That's going to strengthen very quickly. And it's right in this corridor of islands. Definitely going to come down that side. And when it comes down, it's going to vortex of that. It's going to pull that through. So this is another one being born right now. Mm-hmm. This is the birth of another cyclone. And that's going to be quite powerful too. Mm-hmm. This is the bombs that do it. Pow, get a poo-poo-poo field right here. Little bomb clusters going on. With ancient cumulus clouds. Somebody tells you that shit. Prove to me they're down on the low deck. And it would dissipate fairly quickly. You won't be moving around craziness. Nah, that's propelled. That's aimed, shot, vorticed, calculated, geoengineered. It is an engineered event, and engineering requires planning, and we deserve to see the plan because we damn sure get a plan on the destruction later on how to repair it. Beam and watch from one spot. You got a truck down here. Two V's pointing at one spot. Numbnuts. Didn't even hide that. I don't think they thought I was coming on tonight. Oh, fuck, I'll be coming on like an unexpected period. Without the ketchup pack. I don't fucking say, hey dudes, you can't have a period, okay? You're a man. Women, you're born with a penis, alright? Really? Oh, until the tech gives you that clear bubble and the baby's being grown out of everybody's stomach. I think we should fix this. Man up. If you don't like me saying it, I don't care. I don't like that agenda. I should speak out about it. That's counter to my spirituality. To not be proud of the creation God made. My God, look at this man-made stuff. And God put all of us here for a reason, I reckon. And put me here to bitch about this shit. And prove that it's right. And prove it's going in. And I have. I do it every day. And you guys prove to me that you got some balls. Good day, good evening, and good night, everyone. As Catherine just said there. All right, big love, people. You got to crack on this. Mm-hmm. And I'll be back on if I see any horriblenesses. All right. Stay safe. Be you. Be free. Be oneness. And don't be a dick.